Okay, guys, I think this may work. I am trying to do a voiceover on the video that you're seeing here now for actually three reasons. One is I wanted to try it to see how it works. However, I am using a real cheap headset. I have no idea how long I've had it for or how it sounds. I don't know where I've got it from. I have no idea about this headset that I have with this little crappy microphone attached. However, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of other things here. One is the video that I'm doing. This is a couple of pieces of 36-inch by 2 channel, or L. I needed 48, but Tractor Supply only had 36. So I bought two of these, and I have about 5 feet of 1.5 inch that I can adapt to make it longer. Alright, boy, I don't like the way I sound. Anyway, this video is more than... Anyway, this video is just showing you where and what I'm doing. I gotta place these together so they look like a U, and I want them 2 3/4 inches apart. Then I'm going to weld them together. And then I'm going to drive about 1.5 feet of these in the ground. And I'll show you later how it's going to work because I'll use a stick to demonstrate it. Now, I wanted to go in the ground about 3 feet, but they didn't have the length. So I'm going to take the 5-foot piece I have of 1.5, cut that in half to 2.5 each, and then I'm going to weld them to the bottom of this, overlapping them about 1.8 inches, somewhere in that neighborhood, to add an extra couple feet to the bottom. So when I do drive it into the ground, I'll be in the ground about 3 feet or better. And that's what I'm looking to do at this point. Then I'm going to take the part that's going to be out of the ground, and I'm going to drill a hole through the both pipes here, through the pipe itself that I welded the other day, and use that as a pivot bolt. And then above that, about 1 foot, I'll drill another hole to lock it in once I put it up. So that's what I'm kind of doing here now, and we'll get back to that in a minute. However, let's talk about the camera for a minute. This is still that old camera that I've tried to repair, the lens. If you guys remember, about 3 months or better, I had buffed out the lens, and I used a 3M microfinish compound, which requires high-speed buffing. And it actually took out 90% of the crap that was basically in the lens. The lens looked like it was sandblasted. You know, it had all these little chips like in it. And it was getting to be noticeable. I would either had to have bought another camera then, or tried what I did. Well, I used the 3M microfinish, and it worked. If you guys remember, it worked because I was using it right along up until about 1.5 weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks. However, it left 2 spots still on the lens. One of them up on the top in the center, and another one on the top off to the right. They weren't noticeable in all the videos, but they were noticeable depending upon what part of the video. I'm showing you now where the spots were. And they were driving me nuts because I seen them all the time. So I said, let me try it again and see if I can get them out. So I went over to the Dremel thing here I got, and I noticed that I had some of that red rouge type of compound. It's real hard. You know, you use it for, you know, jewelry, you know, silverware, stuff like that. But I've never used it on glass before. But I thought, you know what, let me try it. I mean, because if it doesn't work, I gotta buy another camera anyway. So it wasn't like I was doing this to a good camera. So I tried it. It took the spots off, but it left this haze on the lens, or this film. So, well, I thought it was anyway. So I figure, okay, let me see now if I can clean that off. And that's the video I did the other day. And after I looked at it, I cracked up on it because to me it was funny. But it didn't work. I tried glue remover, label remover, peanut butter, gun cleaner. The brake cleaner seemed to work the best, but it only lasts for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then the haze starts to come back. I think as it dried up, it took the clearness off and then brought it back. Basically, it was using the wetness within the cleaner as a lens that was making it sharp, if you kind of know what I mean. So again, it didn't really work. So it was one of these things to where if it didn't, I was going to have to buy a new camera anyway. It's like I say, I didn't take a new camera or a good camera and said, oh, let me buff out the lens. You know, it wasn't that way. The camera would have had to been replaced anyway. And if I left it alone with those two little spots on the top, I'd still be using it all the time and not buy another one. However, looking for perfection and using something that I wasn't familiar with, it basically ruined it because it didn't leave a film as I was thinking. It actually started to take part of the glass down, almost like a prescription on your eyeglasses, and it made it look this way like a film only because it's out of focus and the autofocus can't catch it. So that's where we're at. Now getting back to this, I'm going to be welding these pieces together, and then I will be welding another 2.5 foot on the bottom, but about 6 to 8 inches up will be welded to help strengthen that up as well. And that should do what I needed to do. Now I just got to wait for the weather because we've got about 7 inches of snow in the yard, and got a couple of trees that I got to take and replant. The ones that I tried to save went over, so I'm going to have to move them out, dig them down, and try to replant them and hope that I can save them, and we'll take it from there. Other than that, guys, that's about it. So you kind of got the whole story here. Why I'm doing the voiceover, because I want to see how it works. I may get a better headset to do it with, and I wanted to explain to you what I'm doing here on the video and talk to you about the camera.